Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Friday evening. The working week at least, is over. Hope you've had a good one. Hope you've looked after yourself. You know, if you're enjoying the pub tonight, or you're at the gym, or whatever you're doing this weekend even, enjoy it. There's plenty of football on, and I know I'll be absolutely seshing it. So we are previewing, obviously, the Spurs game at 2 o'clock on Sunday against Aston Villa. Talking about some injuries, some key battles, just sort of thoughts and feelings ahead of the game. Hope you basically enjoy it, and if you do, hit me with a like, and obviously most importantly, hit me with a subscribe. Let's jump in. So Aston Villa, Spurs. Okay, so when we look at Villa have under since Emery's taken over, have been, I would say, one of the best teams in the Premier League. They've been fantastic, and I think a lot of those players who played under Gerrard, a lot of them who were struggling, and Aston Villa potentially could have gone down under Gerrard. They've had a renaissance under Emery. Emery's been fantastic for Villa. He really has. I mean, the fact they're sitting 5th in the league, they're sitting 1 point behind Spurs, who have had a fantastic start, forgetting, what's happened last couple of games. 8 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. I mean, they've got a better goal difference than Spurs. They've scored more than Spurs. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know they beat Brighton 6-1, which helps. But, they are a very good outfit. I mean, they finished, obviously, last year above us, finishing 7th to our 8th. I think it was a great turnaround for them. It was a terrible last few months of the season for us, hence why we finished below them. I mean, they got the Conference League. Yes, maybe we would want it for the money's sake, but I'm not that fussed about not being in that competition. So when we look at some team news, first and foremost, before I sort of talk about the game a bit more, let me start with the visitors. Let me start with Villa. So Villa, they've basically really got a clean bit of health, all things considered. So Jacob Ramsey has recovered from a broken metatarsal and he's fit again, while Alex Moreno, the left back, is still waiting for his first outing of the season. Martinez, Matty Cash, John McGinn, Leon Bailey and Nicolo Zaniolo are expected to overcome their minor injuries. The main one that's out is Bertrand Traore, the right winger / attacker. And then, they've got a few players who are close to suspensions due to bookings, but it's not really relevant for this game, if I'm honest. It's relevant if they get booked for the missing of the next game. When we look at Spurs, Desti Udogie is back fit, and he's, according to him, the man himself, very healthy. So that's a good sign to have him back. You can tell there's a real drop in performance from Destiny to whoever's sitting in behind him at left back. Oh, good Lord. But obviously Romero is suspended. This is the second game of the 3 suspensions. So the next game will be the Man City game that he misses. And Yves Bissouma misses this game through the collection of 5 bookings. So he'll be back for the City game. This game, obviously you'll find that we'll probably be playing a very similar team than what we did for the Wolves game. When you think of Vicario in goal, you have Pedro Porro at right back, you'll have Desti Udogie coming back for left back. I'd expect Ben Davies and Dyer to play centre half. Phillips is out injured apparently for up to about a month because he got injured on the international break. Just, the football gods do not like Spurs at the moment. They do not like them. The midfield 3, it does look like, from what we've sort of heard from Ange and people like that, it'll be Højbjerg at the 6. Benton Core will move into right centre mid, which is good. Højbjerg's not that great there. He's better at a 6. And potentially Giovanni Lo Celso playing at left centre mid. Your front 3 are expected to be the exact front 3 that we had at Wolves. Brennan Johnson on the left, Kulu on the right, Sonny through the centre. That team, if we had our main 2 centre-backs, Mickey and Christian Romero, that team's actually still pretty decent. Even with Højbjerg and Lo Celso there, you think your full-backs, your keeper are still the same. The front 3 are still the same. Benton Core is obviously absolutely unreal. Centre-backs would be obviously the main 2 centre-backs. That team's still a top 4 team, in my opinion. It's when you sprinkle in a Maddison into that, you start to go, actually, we go from being a 4th, 5th team into a 3rd, 2nd potential team. You never know. We're not City. We're not fighting there. But we could fight for 3rd, potentially. It's going to be a difficult game, if I'm honest. They are a very well-drilled team, Villa. Very well-drilled team. They don't make a ton of mistakes. They concede a few goals here and there, but they score a lot of goals, and that's the difference. if you get him one down, doesn't stop him coming back, not at all. Ollie Watkins has obviously he had actually a fairly slow start to the season. I remember talking about how Spurs wanted him and he had only scored 1 in 6, and then he's obviously rattled off, I think, within the next 2 or 3 games, he rattled off a hat-trick, got a couple of goals elsewhere as well, which I told some of my friends to get me in the fantasy football team, and they're welcome for that. I don't play it, but you were welcome for that. You know you are. In terms of the other quite key names, I think John McGinn's had a really good time under Emery. Obviously now captain as well. They took it off Tyrone Mings. He's obviously very solid. The keeper's very solid, Emi Martinez. I've always rated Emi Martinez. I think my key battles, maybe looking at Zaniolo on the left against Pedro Porro, Destiny Dogiel on the left for us against probably Moussa Diaby. Very, very explosive winger, cuts inside. Both of them cut inside, so it allows Digne and Matty Cash to bomb on over. So, does Brennan Johnson get dragged back instead of staying forward? Obviously, we know Kulu works backwards, so we'll see what happens from there. I think reality-wise, Douglas Luiz, John McGinn been phenomenal in midfield for them this season. I think if we're gonna win this game, Gio's going to have a good game. He really is going to have a good game and allow us to get actually on the ball. Because after we scored against Wolves, didn't really get anything from the midfield. And that, by the way, includes me digging out Basuma and digging out Sarr. Also Højbjerg. I know a few of you think I'm not too keen on Højbjerg. I'll dig out the other two as well as him. None of them were good going forward. Defensively, yeah, they did some good things. But going forward, they offered me, going to be nice here, they offered me bugger all. Gio has the ability to offer me a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to seeing Gio really actually try and stamp his authority on this game, because he's going to be the only guy that can create for us in midfield for a little while. Obviously, we know Madison's not going to be back still at least till January, so he's got all of December that I hope Gio really looks at and goes, even if I want to leave Spurs, if I can give a good 5-6 weeks account of myself, those big teams that maybe I fancy or think that I can get in there, they'll come to me. So that we'll see, but I think the midfield three, Bentancur's going to have to be mega. I mean that he's going to have to be mega, because McGinn and Douglas Luiz has been phenomenal this season. He's been unreal this season, Douglas Luiz, and I actually quite like John McGinn. And it's not because I say John McGinn in a Scottish accent. I think he's an unreal player. To be fair, I know he was linked to Man United a little while ago, and I remember Man United fans going, "But he's not a big enough name. He's not this, that, and the other." Good Lord, if they hit Man United or John McGinn, they'd be a better midfield right now. That's for sure. But I think Bentancur's going to have to be mega. I think Højbjerg's going to have to... I think he's going to have to be brave on the ball. And sometimes we don't really get that from Højbjerg. It's always, I'm going to drop back into the mid-back three because then I can see the whole game in front of me. Instead of playing back to defenders, trying to swift balls on the first time. He's going to have to be a lot better with the ball this weekend, because if not, Davies and Dyer, they're going to be absolutely under the cosh, because I'm confident in our fullbacks. I'm confident in Bentancur. I want to see what Højbjerg does because this Villa team press. I want to see how he develops and deals with that press, because let's be frank, if he doesn't really do it this weekend, Basuma's back for City. Basuma will be playing at City with Gio and Bentancur. And I don't mind that midfield three at all. I quite like that midfield three. And Basuma, with no restriction of bookings being suspended, he's going to play a little bit freer, and he's going to play a lot more like what you saw, I'd say, pre-Luton game. You'll see that kind of Basuma again, where he's going to put his foot in. He's going to be getting involved. He's going to be a lot better on the ball. I think we'll probably see that a little bit from him. But I think if I go with what I think the score will be, I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be 2-2. We can score goals. They can score goals. I don't think either team will keep a clean sheet, if I'm honest. So if I was putting a bet on, both teams to score is what I'd go for sure. But yeah, I see this game being, for the neutral, a hell of a game. But I don't see it be... I don't even think if we went 2-0 up, I wouldn't feel confident. I wouldn't feel comfortable. And if we went 2-0 down, I'm worried what that might go like. So I think it might be one of those tennis matches where if we scored first, they'd score next, then we'd score next, and they'd score next kind of thing. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we win 12-0. I know my friend Dean might think we're going to win 7-0. He's always one of those optimists. sometimes delusional or not. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section your thoughts and feelings about the game, your scoreline, your key battles, all that stuff that I talk about there. You tell me yours. I want to hear and see what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.